Sword Art Online was an anime that came out in 2012 to mixed reception. For all its faults and shortcomings, it cannot be ignored that the success of the anime and light novel changed the landscape of both industries forever. The most substantial result being the increase in the amount of isekai titles we've seen over the past several years. While it is debated in communities whether or not SAO is a genuine isekai, the rise in the genre's popularity spawned show after show of people meeting their end to the famous truck-kun and being transported to a fantasy world. Some shows succeed in carving out original names for themselves amongst the sea of mediocrity, and other shows just kind of float there, lifelessly. Today, I'm going to be talking about one such title that caught my attention one day, so much so that I started a whole YouTube channel to make a video about it. And its name is Cube Arts. Written and drawn by Tomomi Miyasui, Cube Arts is a 3-volume manga series that came out in September of 2020 and was published by 7 Seas Entertainment. We follow Takuto, a young high school student who selected to play in the closed beta for the first ever fully VR game called Cube Arts, featuring a hyperbolic time chamber effect where 2 minutes in the real world is a full day in the game. He and his 3 friends, Yu, Shige, and Itsuki, play the game together so they can go on all sorts of fun and crazy adventures together. However, as soon as they start, Itsuki gets domed by the stupid-looking slime, causing the rest of the group to panic as they try to log out. They find out that the logout function is not working and won't be fixed for 6 real-world hours, meaning they're trapped in the game for half a year. And with the respawn function down as well, the game quickly turns deadly and Takuto and his friends must find a way to survive in a cube world. The respawn and logout function broken on day 1 of the beta? What company would allow that? Okay, I see it. Immediately you can see that Cube Arts takes a lot of its inspiration from a little indie game that some of you may not have heard of. It's called Minecraft. It was pretty big a couple years ago. While they may look similar at first glance, they're actually completely different. You see, in Minecraft, you have to collect resources by mining and crafting those materials into all sorts of things like tools and weapons so you can build and gather more resources with. In Cube Arts, you have to collect resources by mining and crafting. Okay, they're similar. It's blatantly obvious right from the get-go that the author just had the idea of fusing SAO and Minecraft into one thing, but initially that's what caught my attention to this manga when I first saw it in the bookstore. Since Cube Arts is a sandbox game, there's no real objective laid out for the players like there is in SAO, where they had to reach the top of the Ruby Palace in order to escape. At least that's what they were initially supposed to do. Compare this to Cube Arts, where the name of the game is just survival, waiting out that timer until 6 hours have passed in the real world and everyone can log out again. And that sets up a whole different vibe for the story. It's got a different appeal since every decision is integral for your survival alone. Do you go out into the wilderness and try to find food? Do you venture into the mines to collect resources but run the risk of running into monsters? Do you go out and explore looking for a better place to build your base? It's basically VR hardcore Minecraft, the anime. That being said, the main group in Cube Arts really doesn't think in terms of survival. Mostly just going with the flow and doing whatever they think is fun. In one instance, instead of making a bridge in order to safely cross a ravine, they use a rope to swing across, forgetting completely if they mess up, they can fall and die. Or when they decide to build a roller coaster out of minecarts instead of advancing the plot in a meaningful way. So yeah, not the sharpest marbles in the shed. Since I brought them up, let's talk about the main group. The main group consists of 5 people: Takuto, Yu, Shige, Itsuki, and a girl they meet later on called Noah. There are other characters that interact with the group later on, but they're not important directly at the start, and I'm doing my best to avoid spoilers. Takuto is as simple as a protagonist can be. He's the optimistic, upbeat teenager who wants to fight monsters, go on adventures, and be friends and have a fun time with everyone. He honestly checks all the boxes for shonen protagonist. Yu is the quiet, sensible one that, despite not liking sandbox games, secretly enjoys hanging out with his friends inside Cube Arts. I guess you could say he's the Lancer character, backing up Takuto whenever he needs it. Next is Shige. He's fat, he's cowardly, he's a perv, and he serves as the team's comedic relief. His main role in the group is to be the builder, and I gotta admit, his building game is on point. Itsuki's the dead one. Itsuki's sole purpose in the story is to die and give the rest of the team a reason to keep going so they can all hopefully see each other again one day. And last but not least, there's Noah. She's the driving force of the story and a major plot point later on, so I can't really go into detail about her without going into spoilers. I'll keep the details simple. She's a cute girl who knows things about the game for some reason. Overall, the main cast feels very generic and cookie cutter in terms of personality. Plucky protag? Check. Lancer? Check. Comic relief and pervert? Check. Girl? Check. One that died? Check. This is Tomomi Isui's first story, and it really shows in not only his characters, but the story too. Without going into major details about the events in the story, I'll just say that some of the details are lacking. Characters make bad decisions, major plot points don't really serve a purpose until later on. The motives of the main antagonist, Gaku, aren't compelling enough to make him a decent bad guy, so he feels also very cookie cutter. Just overall, kind of bland. That being said, despite all the faults of the story and major plot points that happen, I really like this manga, and its best selling point to me is how much it takes away from Minecraft. I wouldn't be surprised if the author had played a lot of Minecraft growing up as a kid, because this manga just radiates so much love for the game. I mean, look at this house that the group first built when they were starting. I honestly laughed so much when I saw this, because it reminded me of the first shitter block house that I ever built in Minecraft. And that's the thing I like about this manga. It reminded me of all the times and the memories I had playing Minecraft. Building that first starter house so you can survive the first night, the excitement of finding your first diamond, riding around in your first minecart roller coaster, playing on a server with all your friends and getting into all sorts of shenanigans. Even the progress on my building skills as I got better and better at building houses. This manga reminded me of all those good times, and that's what kept me reading, honestly. If you've ever played Minecraft, I recommend this manga. It's not a masterpiece by any means, and it'll probably go under a lot of people's radar, but it's a lot of fun. It's a short series that'll make you reminisce about the good old days. Thank you so much everyone for watching this video up until this point. This is my first video and I really hope to take this channel as far as I possibly can. Please leave a like and subscribe to my channel as I have a lot more content and plenty of ideas in store, so be sure to watch out for them in the future.